Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel on human design. My name is Richard Beaumont. I've been in human design for 25 years and 20 of those have been training professional human design analysts. Today I want to focus in on the open solar plex and the cause of so much suffering in the world. The solar plex is the center of emotional energy. It is the center of pleasure. It is the center of pain. And all those people that have the solar plex fixed in their chart, brown in the chart, means that they have emotional chemistry running through them. And there are different kind of waves that run through them. But one thing they all have in common is that they go up and they go down. And when they go up, they're full of, excitement and passion and desire and happiness. It's all kind of wonderful. And when they go down, it's disappointment and bitterness and anger and upset. And that's what happens. That's what happens in the different streams in different ways, but it always goes up and down. If you think about the emotional center as being a center that literally processes feelings, and the feelings are always in motion. The feelings are always moving. There is a chemistry that takes the emotional person through the darkest and into the lightest and down again into the dark and down and up again into the light. And that's what they experience in terms of their chemistry. It's uncomfortable for them. It's painful for them emotionally and physically. Feeling so intensely sometimes about different things. The other half of the population are open emotionally. And the emotional system is an awareness system. And where we have awareness centers, so the solar plex, the spleen, and the ajna, this is where we can hold on to things because of the awareness. So you're an open emotional person, let's say, and you're in contact with an emotional person who's a friend of yours, and they're very, very upset, and they're upset and they say something really nasty to you and they slam the door and they walk out. And you're left with that, replaying that whole action in your mind and chewing on and really feeling how unfair it is and the consequences of that they don't really love you if they could say such a thing, etc., etc. You are stuck holding on to that event and replaying it. And this is what the mind does. I want you to think about the mind as form of malleable consciousness that goes through all the white areas of your chart. Here in the emotional center, it's to do with feelings. So you're chewing on that feeling. Meanwhile, the emotional person has gone about their time. Maybe they've, kicked a lamppost or shouted at someone because they're upset, but it keeps on moving. And 4 hours later, they're aware of the fact that they really said something nasty to you and they really didn't mean it, but they were just upset. And they come back, and they come back and they open the door and they go, I'm terribly sorry, I didn't mean that, I love you really. And they come to hug you and you're hugging them. And at the same time, you're thinking, I know I can never trust you. I know that, you don't really love me because of what you said. And there is this partly close down that happens. So what's really happening is that the emotional openness has caught a part of the emotional wave and taken that to be all of it. You've only taken in a sample. You didn't take in the whole stream, the whole movement of it. What happened outside of that, the movement on from that. You didn't take in any of that. So we are only taking in samples of emotional energy, whether it be pain, whether it be pleasure. It's samples, it's not the whole thing. Please understand that if you don't have an emotional system, you're going to operate in a very different way. And the moment is much more important. But for the emotionals, it isn't. It can't be. because of this emotional awareness that's running through them and moving all the time. So this is where a lot of emotional suffering comes from in people, and that the open emotional ones really hold on to the painful moments. Now, if you can let go of that, if you go back into your life, it's going to happen anyway over time. If you can see it's the mind's game to keep you entrapped by fixing on a particular moment and thinking that's all that it was about. It's a trap. It's a trap. It's the same kind of trap on the other side, which brings in also more suffering. If you're with an emotional person and they really, really, really want to do something, and they make a big drama of, how important it is to them, and you don't want to go, and your energy's going, and yet you're going, oh, okay, to pacify them in the moment when, it's going against your own nature. So you end up doing whatever it is, and whatever it is, by the way, may not be something that the emotional person even wants to do. They wanted to do, they got excited about it in that moment, but 3 days later, when you both go to do it, they may not want to go. You're weakening yourself in your own life by going against your strategy and authority. And one of the main ways people do it is through the Open Emotional Center. So I hope this is a message to get through to you, because once you can get that, once you can not take so seriously what the emotional person is putting out in a serious way, understanding that they're in a process that will continue after that moment, you can hold it more lightly. And you can also keep to your own authority, no matter what is going on with them. Sometimes they will thank you afterwards and saying, thank God we didn't do that. I'm glad you didn't say yes, that would have been terrible. They don't know. So it's about us staying in our own center and understanding that the emotional energy that can be incredibly pleasurable and exciting and something we really, want, is also something that can take us into the deepest of life's experience, the deepest negative experiences, because we can end up trapping ourselves in a whole lot of negative energies that we hold on to, and ideas that we hold on to, and moments that we hold on to. So over time, it begins to drop away. If you stay in the human design process, you'll find less and less is going to get through to you in that way that you're going to hold on to, because you can see yourself doing it. This is part of the cutting edge of what you have to come to terms with. This is part of the work side of coming into the knowledge. The knowledge itself is up here. The actual living of the design and the living correctly of the design, well, that's up to each one of us. So I hope that's given you some pointers. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please like and share and subscribe. I'll be back with something else very soon. Bye for now.